what's up? It's a sad situation, but I can say I am very numb to death.
She knew in her heart that I was going to be more in life, so she pushed me to high expectations.
What's up, Indy? Super excited about the guest today because they are a YouTube star, or budding YouTube star, they hope. You actually may have seen NaShan Clay on this station. I saw a story featuring you not long ago that just happened to pop up as we were talking about this and coordinating this interview. NaShan Clay, by the way, is her name, and you can find her on YouTube, and we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, welcome. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Well, the way this happened, let me explain the way this happened. Our mutual friend, well, I don't know, do you know Wildstyle very well? Wildstyle Pichelle?
No.
Okay, Wildstyle Pichelle, activist, artist, hip-hop producer. He does like 80 different things in Indianapolis. And he saw a post of yours on Facebook that he shared that you were introducing yourself and you were trying to introduce more people to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so Wildstyle, to be perfectly honest, is how I keep up with what's actually going on in Indy. Whatever's happening in Naptown, Wildstyle is on top of it. And so he shared that post.
Oh.
And I went to your channel and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's just you talking about where you grew up,
Yeah.
where you live, and just giving your thoughts and opinions on it.
Yeah, that's what I speak about, to target the kids also, to give them a different image so they can see we can be more than what we are raised around.
Okay.
So that's the whole thing is just based around the youth and whoever want to listen. So yeah.
Well, let's back up. How long have you been doing this? When did you start the channel?
I started in 2019. That's when I wanted to start changing the communities that I came from. So I started to create YouTube channels. I created my YouTube channel, and my first ever videos is around some kids that lived on Town and Terrence, Condominium, Brentwood. I started mentoring them. I just started to show inside of their life, trying to mentor them to be more than what they're raised around.
It all starts with you. How you want to live your life. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you was raised around, etc. You don't have to continue the cycle because you feel like you owe loyalty. That's not the best. I feel like the best thing you can ever do is owe loyalty is by bettering yourself. If you really love your hood like y'all say y'all do, people around the world, then I feel like the best thing you ever can do for your neighborhood is better yourself.
Cause they was being raised around the same things I was raised around. So I just wanted to show them differently. So I just started to put it on YouTube to share my life story. And hopefully people will hear.
And you grew up, let's just tell people where you grew up. We're talking 42nd and Post Road. And usually when we're talking about 42nd and Post Road on the news,
it's negative.
It ain't good.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's home for you. That's where you grew up.
Yeah, it is home. I grew up out there. It was rough, but I didn't let it define who I was as a person. It's just a story in my book. I mean, it's a chapter in my book that I can use to just connect with other kids in this world that come from the same thing.
Yeah, people will look, and when we talk about places like 42nd Post or that area and the bad stuff that happens, somebody will ask us rhetorically, those of us who don't live there, didn't grow up like that, well, why don't they just move? Why don't you just go somewhere else? It's not that simple. It's not like you can just pack up.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody can just pack up and go somewhere.
Yeah, it's home. That's all I knew growing up. It's when you actually live there, it's not as bad as it may seem from the media. I mean, it's good and bad everywhere. I'm not gonna say it's bad there, but it's also good there. But when I was growing up, it was really a quiet neighborhood. It was like a family unit all around, like Brentwood. Everybody, we used to pop the fire hydrants, even though we wasn't supposed to do that. It was a family, so it was a nice neighborhood, honestly.
Well, you talked a little bit about this earlier. The message you were trying to convey, and I've watched a lot of your videos by now, is that there's an image of the neighborhood, there's an image of the people there, and you say you're trying to mentor younger people now.
Yeah.
Where you were at one time, to show them that this is what you can be.
Yeah, the image. So while I grew up around the typical stuff that you see that's happening over there. Everybody around me did illegal things, so I didn't have anybody around me with a different image who had a very a powerful form of mentality, a form of thinking.
In my environment, they told me that I didn't matter. My voice didn't matter because I was a child. but children's voices, they matter. You know?
Growing up, all I just saw was the negative images. So I actually never thought I could go to college because I didn't have that image around me. So I thought that was not for a kid like myself. Now I'm in college. Now I'm trying to create myself into an image to show kids like it's possible for us. We can do that. So I'm trying to create more a positive image to let kids from like my communities to know it's okay to go to school. It's okay to pull up your pants. You don't have to pick up guns. You don't have to follow what's becoming the wave in our communities, because the good kid is overlooked. Like if you go to jail in my community, you're praised, but if you just come home from 4 years from coming to college, you're ignored. So I want to change that. I want to let the kid from college know you're praised, and the kid who just came from jail know that you're going to be disciplined. It's not okay. So it's kind of backwards where I come from, so I'm trying to switch it around.
It's interesting you put it like that, because yeah, I personally know a lot of people who are in that area who are trying to get that better message across, the message that you're trying to push, and yet you still say it's prevalent that doing time is seen as a good thing, an honorable thing.
It is. When I had trouble behavior growing up, and when I used to get in trouble, I used to think the people around me would be proud, because I was so used to seeing the people who were doing illegal things get praised. Like they were on the pedestal in my community. They was the ones getting praised. But I was playing basketball. I was trying to do the right thing. I didn't even follow towards a lot of things in my community, and I was overlooked. I was attacked, called weird, and just different things like that. So it's really like that. It's pretty sad, but it's like that.
Now, have you ever answered the question, how did you not end up like that? If that's what you were around all the time, why did you not follow the crowd?
I actually think about that a lot, because it's crazy that I'm here. I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, wow, it's crazy that I'm not dead, honestly. But no disrespect to nobody. I believe in God, honestly, and I do believe He's real. And I feel like at the end of the day, He's the reason why I'm here today. He gave me the mind. I made my mind up when I was in middle school to be more than the things in my environment. I started playing basketball, and I used that as a way to be more than my community. Even though I didn't know what was out there, I knew it was more than what my neighborhood was offering. So I pushed, even though I didn't know where it was taking me, but I knew it was taking me somewhere different than what my neighborhood was offering.
What kind of feedback do you get from your videos that you post? I mean, because you try to keep it real, as you say, about how things were when you grew up, how you see things right now. Yeah. What kind of feedback are you getting from the community?
The community I grew up in?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of people who praise me, and it's also people who hate what I do. Like I was threatened and stuff, but it's good and bad everywhere. Everybody's not going to love you, but I just got to continue to do what I stand for. So yeah, it's good and bad. I get hate and I get love at the same time.
Hopefully more love than hate.
Yeah, it's way more love than hate, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you laugh at that, but at the same time, does that ever, you think, put you in any danger if you say the wrong thing, or not the wrong thing, but if you say something that somebody perceives as
the wrong thing?
Disrespect.
I mean, I look up to a lot of like leaders who was born way before me, and I learned that when you want to get on this type of journey, you have to understand that death can come with it, and you don't be afraid. If you really want to change something, you could die, but at least you died fighting for what you believe in. So if it ever happens, then I know that at least I died for something that I really wanted to fight for, instead of dying for a gang or the streets or anything like that has no value. So I'm not really afraid. If I was afraid, I would have stopped.
I really didn't mean for this to take a dark turn here, but I mean,
it's not dark.
It's a serious topic though, and I mean, what do you see on the ground now? Are things getting better from your perspectives than say when you grew up?
Oh yes, a lot of things are getting better. It's more diversity in the community. Like I see more kids hanging with different kids of different cultures, so I can say that the city is listening. I sat down with Lakeisha Jackson, the city councilwoman. She's open, so I see it's changing a lot.
All right. Now, back to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe. First of all, you are up to what, over 5,000 subscribers. You're kind of blowing up now.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. But what does that feel like?
It's overwhelming in a good way, because I never expected me to be in this position. So it's kind of overwhelming to see myself really like becoming known. So I was never known. I was just the weird kid. So it's a good feeling.
What's the ultimate goal of this channel, this outlet for you?
The goal is really I want the kids that come from that community to benefit. So even though I'm becoming like the face of it, at the end of the day, it's really not about me. I want everybody like in the world to see to understand the kids who come from where I come from, instead of judging them by their image. I want the school system to get better for them. I just want their whole environment to just get better, people to understand them so they can grow up and have a better life.
And what's cool about this is, first of all, check Nashon out on YouTube. Nashon Clay, Nashan Clay. We'll have a link at WRTV.com. But it's real people like yourself on the ground. It's not, no disrespect to city council people, city county council people, officials. It's not officials talking. It's people like you who are there, as I whack the table really, really hard. It's people on the ground giving your honest opinion, your honest take, good or bad, as to what may be happening. And that's what's cool about your channel.
Thank you.
All right. Check out Nashon Clay on YouTube, please. And Nashon, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Sure thing.
Appreciate it.
What's up, Indy? Hope you liked my interview with Nashon Clay. If so, please click the like button and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. And if you like that interview and want to meet someone else making a difference on the east side of Indy, then click that box right over there and watch my chat with the wonderful Chef Oya.